I see you, lost inside your circumstance, and I see you, looking for a chance to dance, and it seems to me the world's a better place because of you. You were made to shine just like the stars above, and I know you are made for love and to be loved, and it seems to me the world's a better place because of you. Oh, why do we see one another and compare our lives together, thinking that the greener grass is anywhere but here? Shine, shine, set your eyes on things above now. Shine, shine, you are someone made for love now. Shine, shine, join in the applause of love and shine.
Hey, this is Al Robertson from Duck Dynasty and Duck Commander. I want to tell you about a great book called War on Fear from my good buddy, John Morgan. Of course, he looks like George W. Bush, who had the famous War on Terror, so I immediately knew, there was a nice a bit of wordplay there. This book is fantastic. I think it speaks to sort of that natural fear that all of us have, whether it's public speaking or whether it's the first time you get asked to do something you've never done before, up to, the fear of loss of life, of a sick person in your family, all the things that we face every single day. I recommend this highly. I promise you will be blessed when you read this book, and it's the sort of book that after you read it, you're going to want to pass that on to someone else, which to me are the best kind of books. So War on Fear, get yours as soon as you can.
Well, I'm the free world leader. Freedom's rolling out to you. Oh, let's roll. Well, I'm the good news instigator, compassionate conversator. This freedom is rocking and rolling on out to you. White and blue. I was just going to type in, "Hi everyone," and I realized I can just say it. Oh, so funny. I assume everything is working better today. Hi, Claire. I went back to my original mic setting because the last 2 days have just been weird. OH! Welcome, Karen Sue Bailey Vance. It's good to see you. I probably don't hit any of those notes right, but who cares? Greetings and everybody, welcome to the John Morgan Show. I have the honor of possibly welcoming my son, John, all the way from Colorado. He may be on and he may watch it later, but either way, I love you, I miss you, I welcome you. So, here we are, the John Morgan Show. Oh my goodness. I have a great show lined up for you guys today. Today we're going to talk about a 5-letter word. They say 4-letter words are not good, but love is a 4-letter word. And so that's about the best word there is. Jesus is a 5-letter word.
That's a good word. I'm sure there's lots of good for and not so good 4-letter words and 5-letter words for that matter. And anything beyond 5 letters, I don't think Trump will say it. He is very committed to speaking to the largest possible group that he can communicate with. So he uses simple, easily understood words. And I appreciate that about him because I don't have to think when I'm listening to him speak. And I don't have to think when I'm listening to George W. speak either. In case you're wondering why my face is disappearing behind the bricks right there, I've got this cool setting called Mask Edges. Watch this. See? It things that you don't want in the frame, you can make them go away. Are you all in here to get pictures?
No, you keep going behind a brick.
I'm explaining that right now. It's called Mask Edges, and it's what hides the things I don't want people to see. And what? Oh my gosh, is my belly showing? Well, yeah, but it's okay because
We only see your head.
yeah, you'll never see my belly. My belly is not showing, folks. Okay, my wife and her friend Heather, my friend also, have come into the room to harass me. Get over here and say hi to everybody.
In her pajamas.
She's not in her pajamas. Well, from there down she is. No makeup. Okay, Kathy's not going to show up. But anyway, so I have no idea where I was. We were talking about presidents and speech there for a few minutes. Hello. Yeah. You're now famous. President Trump is one known for using simple speech, but he's not a simple man. He's I think brilliant businessman, and I mean he accomplished so many records. He broke so many records. He broke the record for record breaking. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it's funny to say. And then President Trump, President Bush, I mean, the reason I look over here when I say President Bush is I have a huge life-size stand-up of my guy, George W., and I look at it a lot because, we're kind of hanging out here in the man cave together. So W, he uses body language. he gets his point across, and you got to get the gist. So this masking thing, is it bugging y'all? I hope not, because it's hiding. Let's see, what's it hiding? Let me see. Just stuff. Looks better with it in there, but it's exciting because just before the show, I learned how that worked, and so 53 shows in, I'm still figuring stuff out, and I guess that's what keeps you young. Continually learning, continually growing, continually developing in your gifting. And I've seen that mask button for 50 shows, and I've never known what it did or how it worked, but now I do. So, hello, Carol. Welcome. What are you saying? We can't see it. I know. Oh, I pulled my shirt down, so it's... I have these snaps. I love shirts with snaps because they make me feel like a cowboy. And because cowboy shirts basically have snaps, and I like them a lot. Anyway, I agree with you, Karen. I love my W. He's a tremendous humanitarian. Gives his time to benefit others, and he's a guy that's so unaware of himself. When you see him, he's always about the person that he's talking to. So much so that you get the feeling that he's not even aware that he's actually even there. He's so giving. I'm gonna. Somebody suggested the other day that I clip this wire to the back of my shirt, and I'm going to do that, but I haven't done it yet. Somebody else suggested that I try my Apple EarPods. I've got the Neato Nifty new ones, the 3.0 or 2.8 or whatever they are, and I may try to Bluetooth them with my computer, but then I won't be able to use my real radio announcer microphone, and I would miss that. But if I had and they sounded just as good, I don't know. But this is cool. I mean, it makes me feel like a real broadcaster, you know. and you can swing it around and get it out from behind the masking deal. And it's good too because it's ambient. You can use it for when I want to play my guitar. See, it picks up almost as good on the sides as it does in the front. Whereas a regular microphone, I have one over there, picks up just from the front. It's called unidirectional and omnidirectional. And so today I want to talk about trust, but I'd like to start off with a song that I wrote about trust. To be honest with you, I don't remember what it's called. But I'll lay it down for you and let you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. See, I can hide the microphone right back there, and it's still there. You just can't, whatever. Let's see. Lord, I worship you. Lord, I worship you. You are faithful and true. Lord, I worship you. Lord, I worship you. Lord, I worship you. You are faithful and true. Lord, I worship you. Holy is the Lord of glory. Praises to the King of kings. Lord, I give my life to follow you. Where'er you go, lead me on. Lord, I worship you. Lord, I worship you. Lord, I worship you. Lord, I trust in you. Lord, I trust in you. You are faithful and true. Lord, I trust in you. Lord, I trust in you. Lord, I trust in you. You are faithful and true. Lord, I trust in you. Holy is the Lord of glory. Praises to the King of kings. I trust in you. Lord, I trust in you. Lord, I trust in you. Yeah. Let's see. I can never remember if I put my headphones on first or my guitar. I think the key is don't put on two things, and then you don't have to worry about it, right? Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that, mame. So today, I wanted to take a few minutes to just share from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, very, very famous verse, chapter 3, verses 1 and 2. Really, I think it's just verse 2. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. That's an awesome bit of advice. And you can make promises easily. I mean, people make promises, all the time. But unless the promise is based on truth, unless it's based on something faithful, something reliable, then you just can't depend on it, right? But Proverbs is based on the faithfulness of God's promises, the faithfulness of God himself. So you can trust it. And I've done it both ways. Back in the 80s, I launched my music business, my music career, and I was going to be the next Stephen Curtis Chapman. And this is before Stephen Curtis Chapman was Stephen Curtis Chapman, if any of you know who Stephen Curtis Chapman is. He's the guy that wrote the song Cinderella after, and it was released, and then he lost one of his adopted daughters to a tragic accident. And the song actually talks about dancing with Cinderella because soon she'll be gone as the clock strikes midnight. And oh my goodness, the prophetic nature of that song and what happened to his daughter is just profound. But in my life, I just decided that I was going to just make it happen through sheer effort. And I have some friends in the music business that I embarrassed greatly because they were my friends. And I went to GMA Week, that's Gospel Music Association. They had this huge thing. This is back in the day when they made records and cassettes and things like that, and 8-tracks. No, I think 8-tracks were pretty much a thing of the past by then, the 80s. And I just bowled over record producers, record company executives, and I had my little, I'm so embarrassed. I had my little boom box and I had my demo, and I had my promo packs all made that I was going to give people. And I did get a few doors open, but I actually did eventually land a recording contract with a company that was, I think, out of business like the next year. But still, I did it my way. I pushed my way in, and within a year or two, my music business came to an end. And the Lord kindly said, John, you need to focus on your family, get a real job. And so I remember when I, metaphorically speaking, hung my guitar in the closet, like the superhero hangs his costume in the closet, never to be worn again, whatever. I heard the Lord speak to me at that time, and I was in my 20s, very young, and I didn't want to hear what God said to me, but I kept it as a treasure in my heart. I pondered it. I saved it up. He said, remember I used Moses after 40 years on the backside of the desert. And when you're 20-something and life is right in front of you, the last thing you want to hear about is something happening in 40 years. But now here I am, nearly 40 years later, and now it's beginning to get anticipatory and pretty exciting, because uh, 17 years or so ago now, I launched my career as an impersonator. And I've mentioned this before, but when somebody first suggested, and I remember to this day the moment, it was at the occasion of my mom's 80th birthday party. It was at some upstairs fancy place downtown, a law office, and it was a big, huge party. I mean, it was a big deal, and a friend of the family, who I credit her, Paula Olson. She said, John, there's this emerging industry of lookalikes, and you would be great for that. You've got the personality for it, and blah blah blah, and I had already a preconceived idea of what celebrity impersonators were like, and I wanted nothing to do with it. It seemed like it would be demeaning, below me, like it would be a demotion, like it would be punishment, like it would be, God help me, the worst thing ever. And so I just told her, no, absolutely, no, 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 no. And she just kept hitting me up on that throughout the party, like, are you sure? Because, you could make, a few $100s extra a month, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm not doing that. And it was fear of man, and it was a misunderstanding of the whole thing, and I mean, there was just no way. And also, it was my religion. I had within my heart the thought that God would never call somebody, God would never want somebody to become an impersonator. I mean, come on, it's just crazy. I wanted to do something that would count for something, and so I just absolutely turned it down. And as most of you know the story, not long after that, God spoke in my heart and said, and there are all sorts of other details that go into it too, and they're in the book, my first book, My Life as a Bush. God spoke to my heart and he said, how do you know it's not God? It might have been God, it might have been an angel, I don't know, but it wasn't audible. It was in here, it was where my impressions hit. Somewhere, I don't know where, but somewhere around in here somewhere. Or maybe here, I don't know. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but on my screen, I just got a notice from Ecamm Live, and I dismissed it. So I don't know if y'all saw that or not. So anyway, when I heard, how do you know it's not God? I knew God was putting the ball in my court to find out if it was him. Because in my mind, I just didn't know, like earlier on, back when I was in my 20s, and I was trying to get God to make things happen for me, I didn't know if I could trust him. We're talking today about trust. And so I didn't know if he was like, do you remember the show Let's Make a Deal? Where, the guy's standing on the floor and Carol Merrill's down in front of some big box, and the guy peels off $10, $100 bills. There's $1,000, bam, in your hand. You can walk away with that $1,000 and you're done, or you can trade it for the box. And the box could have a new car, or it could have a goat with one of those little cowbells on it. And you don't know. And so I didn't know that God doesn't do cowbells. God doesn't do cowbells, folks. I'm telling you, he's a good God. Now, because he's a father, he will discipline us when we need it. If we're straying from him, if we're running from him, he'll reach out and grab us and pull us back. He'll discipline us. He punishes us out of love. Hebrews says, what father doesn't punish his sons that loves them? All the more will your heavenly Father punish you out of love. So he disciplines us for our good. And we can trust his character. We can trust his heart for us. So finally, I said, okay, God, I'll become Once I knew that it was him calling me to become an impersonator, I said, all right, I'll do it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't want it, but I want you and I want your will. So yes, I'm in, 100 times in. And it wasn't a half hour after that decision that I'm on the phone with B. Fogelman in Las Vegas, who tells me that if you look like the sitting president and you can talk like the sitting president, you make 10 times the money of any other lookalike. And I have. I've made a ton of money. I've spent it all, but still, it's been amazing. I mean, I got invited and went to Arnold Schwarzenegger's birthday party. Hollywood folks cuss like sailors. I've met Wayne Knight, from Jurassic Park, Ned, Nedry or whatever his name is, and he's all Newman on the Seinfeld show. I've met Rob Lowe. I could name. It would take forever. I shared the stage with Charlie Daniels, Larry the Cable Guy. I toured with Sean Hannity. I've worked with Montgomery Gentry, with Leanne Rimes. I mean, who would have ever thought? I toured with Promise Keepers. I shared my testimony, and people came to the Lord. I toured with Winter Jam. All I ever wanted to do when I was a youngster was be a rock and roll star, and through impersonations, all that stuff came to pass. It's just insane. But folks, none of that is about me. It's all about God and his love for you and his heart's desire. Think about who he is. Think about David and his exploits and Daniel and the lion's den and all those great adventures that you read about from cover to cover in the Bible. That's who God is, you see? And that's what he wants for us. Great adventure. And that's what you'll get if you put 100% of your trust in him, pursue him, like it says in there, seek his will in all you do. It's not enough just to say, I trust you. Because he, Cindy Gillen looked me straight in the eye one day and said, talk is cheap, John Morgan. Yeah. And about an hour later, I had to pull the car over because I was crying so hard I couldn't drive. Because I realized I had been hypocritical in my declarations of love to my wife, because I would say I love you, but I wasn't helping her out. I wasn't being there for her. I was just using words. So saying you trust God doesn't mean you trust God. Trusting God is trusting him. It's like this chair I'm sitting in. I trusted this chair implicitly, so much so. This is a great illustration. Okay, I didn't even think about it. I just sat in it. I just plopped down. It didn't even occur to me to wonder if perhaps the chair was going to let me down and have me falling on the floor. No, I've got experience with this chair. Now it goes up and down. It's got a couple of idio problems, but it's a chair. You can sit in it and it'll hold you up. Folks, I'm telling you, God will hold you up. God will, not like a robber, of course, like my guitar stand is holding my guitar. You can trust God to be who he is, and he's faithful to the end. So take that. Here's the application. What are you dealing with in your life that you don't know what to do? You don't know where to turn, to whom to turn. You don't know which way to go. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. See, I thought being a lookalike is the stupidest idea ever. That was my understanding. But look how awesome it's been. Dude, I punked the whole nation of China. Oh, my goodness. I spoke in a World Cup soccer stadium in Arnhem, in Holland, in front of 34,000 raving teenagers who thought I was the president of the United States. It was just crazy. It's been so fun. And I'm going out on another tour in another week or so. this ain't done, folks. This is just getting started. I promise you, it's going to get good out there. It's going to get good again. It ain't over. And it ain't over for you. It ain't over for you. COVID notwithstanding, okay? Race riots notwithstanding. Do you think that God changed in his personality when the race riots started, when COVID started? No. This is a window in a million years. And God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. You can trust him. You can trust him. Trust him, brothers and sisters. Trust him, my friends. Yeah! So, oh my gosh, 30 minutes. I've gone on way too long. I love you. I like you. Let's do this again tomorrow, shall we? God bless you. I went the wrong way.
Hi, I'm Michael Hyatt, author of the New York Times bestseller Platform Get Noticed in a Noisy World. I want to talk to you about my friend John Morgan, who is an incredible George W. Bush impersonator, but more than that, he's a seasoned keynote presenter. I'm an event planner too. I use all kinds of speakers at our events, but nobody has killed it more than John has. He'll have people laughing, he'll have people rolling on the floor, and more importantly, gives them a message that they're talking about for weeks and months after the event. We just had him today at an event that we were doing in Vail, Colorado, where I'm at today. And I mean, he killed it. People
Not today.
Loved it. They're talking about it, and it can work the same for you. And I hope you'll consider him. He'll make a difference for your event.
Well, I'm the free world leader.
Thanks for tuning in today, folks.
Freedom's rolling out to you. Oh, let's roll.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Rich.
Well, I'm the good news instigator, compassionate conversator.
Woohoo!
This freedom is rocking and rolling on out to you. White and blue.
Hey, Vicky. Thank you for tuning in. What up, Phil Love? Appreciate you guys. And we'll leave it right there.